Very warm welcome, guys. My name's Drew. This is Modern Tarot. Today is a series about healing and growth. So this is all about why do you keep attracting the same kind of people in different bodies? And very often, we do that. It can be from childhood. It can be an attachment style. There can be a codependent narcissistic dance going on, where one always meets the other. The giver needs the taker and the taker needs the giver. And so if you're struggling with that and you've had problems and you just keep meeting the same people in different bodies, then this is a reading for you. So there are 3 piles, guys, and I want you to, pause the video if you like, but that'll be coming up on the screen now. And take your time and whatever stone resonates with you. There's 3 piles there. The first one is a Smokey Quartz, which was dug up in Australia. It's unpolished. Number 2 is Pyrite, and you'll see the meaning of the stones there. And the last one is a Chinese dragon pendant, which is all about strength and honor and all those kind of things. So take your time to have a look at this and pick the card that resonates. You'll get a feeling from it, and I'll see you in the next part. You'll find timestamps down below, or there's chapters in this video to make it easier for you, so you can jump straight through to the section that you want. Just a heads up, it might be a little bit triggering for people, but all growth is triggering. It's triggering you into growth, if that makes sense. So take your time, guys, and I'll see you in the next section. Welcome, pile number 1. So this is the Smokey Quartz. I don't know whether you can see this in the light here in the studio, but this was dug up in Australia, and it's totally raw and those kind of things. So this is your pile. So pile number 1. Why do you keep attracting the same person in a different body? So I'm going to give this a couple of shuffles, guys. I mean, it's already pre-shuffled. None of these cards here are random. I take some time to prepare these readings before. But, I just want you to know that it's done with intent rather than just, like pulling cards in a casino. So let's have a look at this. Pile number 1. Why do you keep attracting the same person in a different body? Same characteristics. Okay, we got the 2 of Cups here. Okay. You might be quite spiritual, pile number 1, and you really look for connections where you feel this very deep spiritual bond. Okay, you're a team player. Okay, 3 of Pentacles here in reverse. Okay, Page of Wands. Okay, this can be a little bit naivety with the Page of Wands here. It's like a new start. You might show up as very kind of like innocent. Okay, and one more. And then we've got the Hangman in reverse. So it seems to me like pile number 1, you guys might be quite deep, okay? And you really look and search out for these spiritual bonds. And, very often we have to be careful, especially with the Page of Wands here, all right, that we're not projecting our idea of love, okay, which, this is a beautiful card, the 2 of Cups here. These are 2 people that they're balanced, both their cups are at the same height. There's a togetherness about this card. It's not one is above and one is below and one is behind and one is in front. There's no push-pulls there's no toxic push-pulls, just hamster wheel of ups and downs in a 2 of Cups connection. It really is something where 2 people, we've got each other's backs. It's kind of like a divine love. Does that make sense? So your idea of love, pile number 1, is quite spiritual and it's quite deep. Okay, and you love to work together. If there is a problem in the relationship, you're the kind of people that would really work together and try to resolve it. For those of you that are a little bit older, you're the kind of people that would probably go to marriage guidance, those kind of things, to really sort through issues. The Page of Wands is the only worrying card in this reading so far. The Page of Wands, it's almost like a little bit It's a bit dreamy, but it's not like the Page of Cups. It's the Page of Wands is more, yeah, we can do anything. Anything is possible. There's a certain amount of naivety to it. So I'm just wondering, pile number one, whether you have amazing energy, but not everyone has that energy, and not everybody has the same motives. We're going to go deeper with this reading, guys, but it just seems to me that it's almost like a very young soul love, but it's soulful. Does that make sense? There's a little bit of immaturity. I don't mean this in a bad way, guys. When I say immaturity, it's a bit, I'd say it's naivety, that everyone is coming from the same place, looking at connections as the Two of Cups and wanting to work together, and then we got the Hangman in reverse. So, the Hangman in the upright talks about, it's a very spiritual card. I mean, his head is illuminated here. It's like light bulb moments. It's like you might be, pile number one, you might be people that have done a lot of self-reflection and looked at different perspectives and all these kind of things. And you just might have struggled with the connections that you've had. So I'm going to clarify this now. But you seem like nice people, pile number one, You deserve great things, right? You deserve that Two of Cups. Let's have a look at this. Okay, one more shuffle, guys. I always kind of like shuffle them 3 times, just even though they're pre-shuffled, I just like to do that live as I'm reading because it just helps the process for me. Right. So, guys, look, I just want you to watch out. Okay, we have the King of Swords in reverse, clarifying the Two of Cups. So the reasons why you keep meeting the same people in different bodies is your naive spiritual side, okay? The spiritual side isn't naive, but your projections onto potential partners, mates, those kind of things, it's fodder for narcissistic people. With the King of Swords in reverse here, this is mind fuckery. Out of all of the court cards in tarot, this would be one of the most dangerous cards for me. This would make you doubt your belief system. This would make you second guess. This could turn you into being very codependent because they've destroyed your sense of self. And it's the kind of partner that would like to isolate you from any outside help, whether that be a support network or whether that be your spiritual beliefs. So it seems to me from this reading, pile number one, you're highly attractive to narcissistic people. Okay, so when we're talking about narcissistic people, okay, when you look to want to work together to work together on problems, they find it as foolish. They see you as foolish because you're spiritual, and they've no time for that. It's all about, what can I get out of this? What's in it for me? Sex, drugs, rock and roll, whatever it might be. But it's almost like they see it as a little bit immature, and they don't love themselves, remember. Okay, King of Swords in reverse, they do not love themselves. They're very fragile, but they come across as strong, domineering. It's feigned confidence. They might be highly attractive because of their confidence, but it's not real. It's fake. And it seems to me that you would see them as foolish for not having, this spiritual depth. They would see you as foolish for falling in love with them. Does that make sense? Because they know deep down, beyond their mask, which they put out into the world, they know deep down that they're not worth loving because they don't love themselves. Does that make sense? And then we got the Page of Cups in reverse, the Page of Wands in reverse, and then we got the Emperor in reverse, guys. Pile number one, you keep meeting the Emperor in reverse. Now, this is someone that is using control in a very manipulative way. So we've got We got swords here, which is communication, harsh communication. Words are swords, guys. Nothing mightier than the sword is a word. Sorry, I said that wrong, but you get my point. So the little page of wands here, which is you're innocent. We can do anything. Like, we can work together. I really feel the spiritual bond with you is up against the Emperor in reverse. Another card of manipulation, guys. And then we've got the Hangman, which is a very spiritual card. You guys seem like you have a very spiritual take on love, okay, which can come across as highly attractive to narcissistic people. And you always get there in the end. You get that truth. So the reasons why you keep attracting the same people in different bodies is the fact that you are very spiritual. These people are here to advance your healing, to advance your spirituality, if that makes sense. Really painful, guys. I know it's really painful, but I don't think the powers that be would keep sending you these kind of things if you weren't strong enough to deal with it. So you might stay in relationships longer than you should, but you get to the point where you just go, enough is enough. I've got clarity now. So it seems to me, the reason why you keep meeting the same kind of people in different bodies is you have an amazing view on love, which is very spiritual, but in the wrong hands, it's open to manipulation and open to manipulators. Some advice for you guys now. Some advice for you. Let's have a look. I just want one card from this deck. Okay, you see, now we got shy. Okay. And, very often when we're highly spiritual, we might come across as a bit shy, but we're not. We have this spiritual belief, and, we see things in a good light, an untainted light. We're not out there to use or abuse anybody. Narcissists would see that as shy, and they think that they can go to town on you with this kind of outlook on love and life. Does that make sense? Let me take one of these. So, when you are like that and you're very spiritual and you've just got to watch your projections onto them, in time, let them reveal themselves to you. And very often in relationships, our partners can't be everything. Okay. We might feed our spiritual side with a partner. If we've met another Two of Cups and they're into that, we can feed the spiritual side. Our intellect, our partners, we might love them to pieces, but our mind, our intellect isn't really fed. And that's when we have friends that feed a certain part of our character that we need. So, not one person is our be-all and end-all, right? We need that network. And these sets of cards here, these kind of people, they want to control you and take away your support network. They don't want you to validate your spiritual side. Does that make sense? So we've got +4 over narcissism, okay? So we're getting closer to 5. So these people might not be overly narcissistic when you meet them. You might just think that they have confidence, and you might speak about spirituality or depth, and, let's work on this, and let's do this with the page of wands here. And they're just taking notes, and then that alter ego comes out somewhere down the line, and then you're so really, really invested. You feel the spiritual bond, and you're kind of like in it so deep, and it's hard to get out, but you do eventually get to the truth. Do you know what I mean? So I think the advice for you guys is to kind of end the naivety. And I've been guilty of that in the past myself. I mean, it's easily done because, it's a form of naivety where we project onto people how we see love, life, relationships, and all of those kind of things. Okay, so yeah, I think, guys, just watch out. The reason why you keep meeting these people is a certain naivety on your behalf, that you're projecting fantastical thinking onto these people that haven't earned your your trust and your respect with your finances, your body, your emotions. And these people shape shift. You know, you might see times where they're quite normal and they're okay, and then suddenly it's almost like a toxic form of spiritual love. And I think it's all there to do with your growth. It's to make you a stronger person. And your job in that is self work and to get to the truth of the matter. Believe in your spiritual side. Don't project onto people. Let them earn it in time. And as soon as you see that it's not working out, have the strength to walk away because it's not feeding you spiritually or you're not growing. If anything, they are destroying your spiritual growth. Does that make sense? So the reason why you keep meeting people is your innocence, if you like, is highly attractive to narcissists. So just reel that in, guys. Let people expose themselves to you over time. Don't give too much away too soon. Certainly don't invest your everything into people. You can't afford to do that, being the kind of people that you are. You need to have a support network that feeds your spirituality, feed your intellect, feed your need for physical exercise. You know, have a support network. It's very important because it seems like you could be fodder for highly controlling narcissistic people. I hope that helped pile number one. Best of luck, and I'll see you back here for another reading. Take care. Bye now. Hey, pile number two. This is for you guys who chose the Pyrite. So we're going to get straight into this. Why you keep attracting the same person in a different body. And hopefully the cards are going to give you some answers today. And it's all about self-healing and self-work. And pile number one had quite an interesting reading. If you were, found it hard to choose between pile one, pile two, pile three, or maybe there was a mix of two, then certainly look at both of those readings. Right, one more shuffle. That's it. Okay, so pile number two. Okay, so we got the Two of Wands in reverse. The reasons why you keep meeting the same people in different bodies. Okay, we got Four of Swords. We have the Three of Cups. And we have the Nine of Wands. Okay, so now I'm going to clarify this deck, and then I'm going to go through the reading with you guys. Okay, they're quick readings, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. If anything, it's just it's just interesting to know what the cards might reveal in order you can make some little tweaks and just cut out time wasters and people that you'd rather not deal with anymore. And it's hard to break those patterns. They can be formed in childhood. There's many scenarios, many situations going down, and it might be a little bit different for all of you. Okay, so why is the Two of Wands here in reverse? Okay, and then we got the Ten of Wands in reverse, Ace of Wands in reverse, Page of Swords. Right, so pile number two. All right, it seems to me you might get stuck on people. Okay, so you might keep meeting people, and things aren't moving. We got the Knight of Pentacles here. It's the slowest moving in the knight in the deck. All right, in the upright, it's moving, but very slowly. It's cautious. So it seems to me, guys, you might get stuck on people that put very little work into things with you. And then we got the Four of Swords, which is, you might be, you keep meeting people. You might be quite a reflective person, and people tend to drop the burden on you. Okay. And then we've got, you might be somebody that, likes to party. You might be someone that loves to be sociable and friends. And then we got the Ace of Wands in reverse. Okay. It seems to me, guys, you might be attracting people here that put very little work in. They kind of keep you stuck. They tend to lose passion for you. Okay. And yet, it's almost like, and then they kind of like spy on you with the Page of Swords here. So you seem to meet people that can't really make decisions, indecisive people, not very strong characters, to be honest. Number two, I want to take some cards on this. This is quite an interesting reading. Let's have a look. Okay, so we've got +1 overt, and then we've got -5 codependent. Part number two, look, you might be quite a healthy person, to be honest, but it seems to me that you might meet people that are quite codependent. And so they rely on you to really lift them up. And when you've lifted them up, they kind of drop you. Does that make sense? I want to take more on this. This is quite interesting. Let's have a look at this now. Put these over here. Pile number two. Yeah, you might be attracting wishy-washy people because they might be quite needy. You'd never know about them. And you might feel that they've lost passion for you. It's just that you've built them up. Does that make sense? You might give a lot to situations and it keeps you stuck, Tell me more. All right, so we've got codependent here. You might attract people that are quite codependent. And there might be a lot of push-pulls. We've got time apart, reflection. Is this you, pile number two? And then we've got possessive traits. Only you I want. Right, okay, so pile number two. Reasons why you keep attracting the same kind of people in different bodies seems to me that you put a lot of work in. You're quite a reflective person. You enjoy your friends and family and sociability and all these kind of things. Okay. But it seems like you're always burdened by the connections that you're attracting. And I think it's because the people you're meeting, whether you know it or not, they're quite codependent. So codependency, this can take many forms. But it seems to me that you might meet people that you really build up and then they disappear. They'll take time apart and reflect on these kind of things. They might be quite possessive. So it's almost like they own you. You're there to build them up. They might tell you these kind of stories. It's only you. You're the only one I want. But it's just a burden to you. And you're forever trying to gather information as to, what's this person all about. So pile number two, I think you keep attracting the same person in a different body, and it's all about you overgiving, them building themselves up and leaving. Okay, that could be true for some of you. But the message of this reading seems to be that you need to pull back and fill your own cup as opposed to building people up just for them to disappear when they've got what they want. And it's their codependency which is driving that. So you might be quite helpful. I mean, healthy. We've got, +1 overt narcissism. So we all need, +1, +2 narcissism in our life to get things done, to get out of bed, to go about the world. It's healthy narcissism. Once we're above +5, it's very, very dangerous. But it just seems to me that you meet people, you build them up, they leave, or they go silent on you, they go distant. It's very much a burden. You might lose attraction for these people. And it's like you're in a constant state of studying what's going wrong. Why am I so burdened by all this? So you just need to watch out that you don't give too much of yourself away. Keep it even keeled. Highly codependent people will suck the life out of you because they tend to confuse love with neediness. They need you to survive. Does that make sense? But it's like once you kind of give them a window into this is how you can survive. I'm here to help you. they're kind of going, oh, thanks for that. I feel much better. And then they disappear. But they might reappear when they've lost that support network of you. Does that make sense? So it's almost like equal give and take. That's what you're striving for. And it seems to me that you might give more than you receive, pile number 2. I want to take one of these actually for you guys. This one here. Careless Whisper by George Michael. It might mean something to you. Guilty feet have got no rhythm. But one of these as well. Let's get one of these. Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't waste your precious energy worrying about the small things. Refocus your thoughts towards love, abundance, and tranquility. So it seems to me, look, pile number 2, you keep attracting the same people because you might overgive with great intentions, only for the people for you to fill their cup, and then they kind of like leave, and they leave you burdened. So you're there. It's almost like people that emotionally dump on you, they dump all their problems on you and they're good to go again, and off they go. And then you're left there feeling burdened and losing vitality in life. Does that make sense? So it seems to me that you might be a bit of an overgiver. You just need to reel that in. It's a different form of codependency. You're attracting highly codependent people. Not that you'd ever know it. It's very subtle. But you might need to be needed. And this is the reasons why you're attracting these people. They'll need you until you build them up, and then they're gone. So watch out for your need to be needed. It could be driving that machine of perpetually meeting the same people in different bodies. Does that help? I hope it does, pile number 2. Thanks for listening. My name's Drew. This is Modern Tarot, and I'm on to pile number 3. Take care now. Bye-bye. Pile number 3. This is for those guys that picked the Chinese dragon pendant. So we're going to get straight into it, guys. No messing around here. Why do you keep attracting the same person in a different body? And it's, like I said, for the other 2 readings there, it's all about healing. It's all about, breaking that chain and attracting different kind of people. Now, these patterns could be, set in your childhood that perpetuate into adult life. And healing is all about releasing those patterns, Easier said than done, but it takes work, self-work, self-love, not self-pampering, It's not about going down the road and having a massage. It's about deep inner work. And it's a tough thing to do, but it can be fun. So let's have a look. One more shuffle, guys. We're going to get straight into this. I'm going to lay some cards, clarify, and then, we're going to get to what it's all about. I'm using the Aquarian deck here. It doesn't show up that well on camera. All right, but the reason why you keep attracting the same people, you seem to be a very honest pile, number 3. Okay, you're upfront, you're straight, tell it like it is people. Okay, and it seems to me, pile number 1, you would open up and you would tell everybody everything about you. You believe in sharing. Does that make sense? And it's almost like you might find that your honesty comes back to bite you in the face. Look at this guy. He's laying here. I don't know whether this shows up very well. They're very 1970s cards with very pastel colors, guys. So apologies. So yeah, it's like your own honesty, your own altruistic ways come to bite you in the face. Does that make sense? Okay, and then we got the King of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so it's like you might be struggling with being so honest, and yet nothing really committed is coming your way. And then we got the Page of Wands, Page of Rods in this deck in reverse. So it's like you're constantly looking for that new start. Interesting reading, guys. So I'm going to clarify now. Okay, but you seem like really, some of you might be honest and open that you were betrayed, and you're kind of like, you fear commitment a little bit here, and people might lose a little bit of faith in you, just for some of you. But this is all about why you keep attracting the same people in different bodies. So this layer now is going to give us a little bit more, get more to the point. Okay, we've got the Queen of Cups in reverse. Okay, so the Queen of Cups in the upright, she's loving, she's caring, she's kind. And it's almost like you might attract mentally unstable people. Does that make sense? That emotions are all over the place, they're out of whack. Okay, and you seem to keep manifesting heartbreak and betrayals. Does that make sense? Five of Swords in reverse. Okay. You might attract people, guys, that are emotionally a little bit emotionally manipulative. Okay. You seem to be upfront, honest, and open, and you believe in sharing. Nothing is taboo, and you've nothing to hide. And then we got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, clarifying the Page of Rods in reverse. So this is people. It seems like you're attracting. You could be attracting guys that are emotionally unstable and a little bit needy. And it's almost like your brutal honesty kind of like scares them off a little bit. All right. I want to clarify this a little bit further here. Really interesting reading, guys. Interesting to know your comments on this. It's almost like people can't go there with you. They can't open up and have those conversations and cut to the chase. It's almost like they would rather use the silent treatment than to speak the truth, which leaves you feeling betrayed, But it's a form of manipulation on their behalf. They avoid conflict and heavy conversations. So you can never get to the truth of the matter, which makes you lose confidence and you don't really want to commit to it. Does that make sense? These people don't seem to want to be single, Some of you might be attracting people that aren't single and there's no new start. And you're very honest and they're quite disingenuous. Does that make sense? Okay, fake mask. All right, so you might attract people that come across as fake. Okay, and you're constantly feeling betrayed because you're looking for someone loyal. And loyal people tend to open up and speak the truth, right? Coming back around in reverse. So it's almost like pile number 3, you found inner strength, okay? And it's almost like you don't believe in, on-off relationships and you've no time for it. So anyone that you seem to attract people with bipolar tendencies, people that are up and down, they are emotionally unstable, they are manipulative, so they might sell you stories about, I'm loyal and I'm with you and all these kind of things, but they can't go there. They can't have those open, honest communications because they're emotionally unstable and manipulative, probably emotionally manipulative. And bipolar tendencies, which would always leave you in a perpetual state of feeling a little bit heartbroken and betrayed because who am I dealing with today? Does that make sense? I want to take some advice for you guys, how to stop this pattern of attracting emotionally unstable people. Maybe they find some kind of a strength with your honesty and your openness to communicate, but they can't go there with you. They just think, that's amazing, but too scary for me. They're wearing a fake mask. They can't go there. Thrill of the chase. So you might attract people that love the chase. They want you to chase them, or they just, want to get you and then they're done. Exhausted in love. It leaves you exhausted in love. Addictions at play. Okay, and the last one, material driven. So look, I think pile number 3, I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I just think that you are meeting people that are emotionally unstable, emotionally manipulative, and you know, that would give you mental conflict. Okay, not so much heartbreak, you guys, but it would give you mental conflict. It's kind of like their emotional manipulation would cause, you know, a bit of cognitive indissonance with you guys. It would affect you mentally as opposed to emotionally. Does that make sense? So watch out. You keep attracting emotionally unstable people, people that can't go there with you when, you know, the shit hits the fan or when there's things to sort out. You might be quite a rational person, quite grounded here with the King of Pentacles, and you're constantly, it's like starting all over again, you know, like this perpetual state of what's next, you know. But you not everyone's coming with the same integrity as you with the Ace of Swords here. Does that make sense? So the advice I think in this reading for you guys is to carry on speaking your truth, and learn to cut things out early. The moment you see emotional manipulation, bipolar tendencies, and what have I got today, it will just destroy you mentally. Your sanity. Okay, so protect your sanity at all costs. Anyone that's emotionally manipulative, learn about emotional manipulation, how it works. You can go into the reasons behind it, but I don't think you really need to do that. I wouldn't take it personally. Anyone that is emotionally manipulative, it's normally something to do with them. So pile number 3, yeah, you keep attracting the same person in the same body because there's something about your honesty that attracts them, which they don't possess themselves. Does that make sense? But keep doing what you're doing, and eventually you'll get it right and learn to spot emotional manipulation. So I think some of the other readings were really more about they weren't so affected by, you know, their sanity wasn't so affected as it might affect you guys. It was more on a spiritual level for pile 1, I think it was, and pile number 2 was more emotional. So yeah, look, you're doing nothing wrong. That it's all there to help us learn and grow, but just watch out for, you know, people that are wearing a fake mask. They don't all have the same integrity as you, pile number 3. So that stone is all about having strength, courage, and integrity. Keep doing what you're doing, but just learn to cut it out quicker the moment you see it. Does that make sense? I hope this helps. My name's Drew. This is Modern Tarot. If you like the content, please like, share, or subscribe. It means I can continue to do this for free for you. In the meantime, pile number 3, take it easy, and I'll see you back here for another reading. Bye now.